Namaskar and good morning, everyone. And welcome to our webinar on AI and journalism in Nepal, Insights for Course Design. I'm Alok Lamsal, your moderator for today's session. So this important webinar organized by Kathmandu University, School of Arts, Department of Languages and Mass Communication, in coordination with Digital Rights Nepal and supported by UNESCO, aims to assess AI education gaps in journalism and explore integration opportunities for our curricula. So today, we'll gather insights from distinguished panelists to develop actionable recommendations for an AI inclusive journalism curriculum that maintains ethical standards while preparing our students for the digital future. So I would like to welcome our Head of Department, Associate Professor Dr. Nirmal Adhikari, Associate Professor Dr. Sudhamsu Dahal, and Lecturer Mr. Subendra Shrestha. I would also like to welcome our guests and panelists, Mr. Bholanath Dhungel from Digital Rights Nepal, Ms. Nirjana Sharma from UNESCO, Ms. Sonia Awale, Editor of Nepali Times, and Dr. Yagiras Pandey, Assistant Professor and Head of Department of Artificial Intelligence, Kathmandu University. So with participants, including faculty members, PhD scholars, teachers, students, and journalism enthusiasts, this collaborative approach will ensure we create a strong framework that bridges knowledge gaps while maintaining responsible technology use in journalism education. Welcome everyone. Now for our welcome speech, I would like to welcome Mr. Subendra Shrestha, Lecturer of Department of Languages and Mass Communication.
Thank you so much, Alex sir. Good morning, everyone. Respected Head of Department, Associate Professor Dr. Nirmal Adhikari sir, senior faculties, esteemed panelists, distinguished guests, faculty, student, and participants. On behalf of Department of Languages and Mass Communication, School of Arts, Kathmandu University, in collaboration with Digital Rights Nepal and supported by UNESCO Kathmandu, I warmly welcome you to the webinar AI and Journalism in Nepal, Insight for Course Design. As the digital landscape evolves rapidly, artificial intelligence AI presents both unprecedented opportunity and complex challenges for journalists and media professionals. Today, we explore the transformative roles of AI in journalism, education, addressing opportunities, challenges, and the need for innovative ethical curricula. I extend my gratitude to our panelist, editor of Nepali Times, Sonia Awale, program coordinator to UNESCO, Nirjana Sharma, and acting head of Department of Artificial Intelligence at EU, Assistant Professor Dr. Yagiraz Pandey for their expertise, and to our chair, Associate Professor Dr. Sudhamsu Dahal, and Head of Department Dr. Nirmal Adhikari for their leadership. To all participants, your insight are vital in shaping the future of journalism education in Nepal. Let us embark on this journey to shape the future of journalism education in Nepal, ensuring it is inclusive, forward thinking, and grounded in ethical principle. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you, Subendra sir, for your wonderful, warm, welcoming remarks. Now, I would like to invite our head of department, Mr. Nirmal Adhikari, who has been instrumental in motivating us, guiding us, and helping us in every endeavor we tend to achieve. He's a distinguished scholar, philosopher, and an academician who is world renowned for his theories in communication, and one of them being the Southernington model of communication, which has been a groundbreaking model in communication from Eastern perspective. So his theories are being discussed and discoursed all around the globe, and are being applied in different settings and situations, both in academia and real world scenarios. So, without any delay, I would like to call Dr. Adhikari as a representative from the university for his sagacious remarks. Sir, it's up to you.
Thank you. Namaskar. Distinguished guests, representatives from UNESCO and Digital Rights Nepal, other guests, panelists, faculties from the department, PhD scholars, students, and all participants. Journalism in particular and the media industry in general has been a proactive field to embrace new technologies. This is why we are living in what is called digital galaxy. And with the advent of artificial intelligence, various quarters of the society have come up with various kinds of discourses about this technology, and broadly we can see whenever there comes something new, the society, various quarters of the society will have different point of view. Even if we go to the famous like discussion between Plato and Aristotle regarding the role of literature, they were having two distinct views. Plato was considering literature as a means for corruption, and the literary mimesis was something undesirable for him. He was emphasizing on philosophy. Even he went even to that extent that in his ideal state he would like ban all the like poets, dramatists, all them. Whereas for Aristotle, the drama and poetry and all literary forms were like actually means of purgation, and through purgation they would help for the betterment of the society. And he was like for a respectful position of poets, dramatists, and artists in the society. Later on, when film came or television came, then the same discussion, which is called pro-social and anti-social paradigms, they were there. So we can see the same discussion even today. If we listen to Michio Kaku, then we will get like very bright future of humankind due to the help of this technology. But if we listen to or read to scholars like Yuval Noah Harari, then the situation may be somewhat scary, and the technology may overcome even the humankind, and there would be like huge number of useless workforce inviting various problems in the society. So it goes on. Likewise, whenever artificial intelligence came, there various quarters of the society reacted in different ways. It continues even today. But as I mentioned, the journalism sector in particular and the media industry in general has been very proactive to embrace whenever there is such technological invention and innovation. So to come to our department, it has always emphasized on technology, language, research, and ethics. And okay, AI also has been something we would like to embrace. To some extent, we have tried to adopt AI in our existing curricula, but obviously there will be some gaps, and such programs certainly help us to identify what are the gaps and what are the rooms for improvement. So I would like to thank UNESCO and Digital Rights Nepal for such collaboration, and we intend to have more collaborations in the future. And I wish the panel discussion today will be very insightful, and not for the direct participants, but for the department for making its policies and revisit its curricula and so on. With this, I would like to conclude my few words. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful, insightful remarks. Now, I would like to call uh, uh, representative, the president of Digital Rights Nepal, Mr. Bolana Tungana, for his remarks.
Thank you, Alokji, Subindra sir, and everyone. Namaste, very good morning, Nirmal sir, and everyone here. It's very proud for us, Digital Right Nepal, to collaborate with Kathmandu University and UNESCO and two other universities in the region from India and Bangladesh to work under this program, AI-informed journalism project. We are very happy to work with the Kathmandu University, one of the very prestigious university in our country. We know artificial intelligence increasingly influence how we create, share, consume the information. Sometimes AI helping us in a positive note, and we also equally observe sometimes the misuse or the different way of use over here. Our intent is to use the AI in journalism to create more and more critical information in our context, and we confident that the role of journalist becomes even more critical to develop or use this new technology in the context. So this project we're implementing, and which this webinar is a part of aims to bridge the gap in developing the by developing the localized and practical curriculum on AI reporting that responds to the real world needs of the educator, students, and media professionals. So this is today's program is we hope very important part of the process. It allows to us to gather the different insights. We know that very experienced and the expert panelists are there to share their views, and we hope every one of us will be benefited from this, and we look forward to collaborate this kind of events in future as well. And I wish you all the best, and look forward to very positive outcomes of today as per our expectations. Again, I thank you, KU, Department of Media Industries, and everyone over here. Thank you very much.
Now, without any delay, I would like to introduce our esteemed panelists. So I would start from Dr. Yagiraj Pandey. So Dr. Yagiraj Pandey is an assistant professor and head at the Department of Artificial Intelligence, Kathmandu University, with over 10 years of experience in IT, education, research, and smart system development. With a PhD and postdoctoral research in AI from Jobang National University, South Korea. He is leading the Artificial Intelligence and Smart System Research Laboratory, focusing on critical real-world applications of AI in agriculture, healthcare, disaster management, and cultural preservation. A prolific author, Dr. Pandey is also a key member of Nepal's National AI Policy 2081 and team leader for the National AI Strategy 2082, currently being developed by the government of Nepal. Welcome, Dr. Yagiraj Pandey. Now, I would like to go to Ms. Nirjana Sharma. Ms. Nirjana Sharma, Head of Communication and Information at UNESCO Nepal, oversees the CI sector programs focusing on digital transformation, media information literacy, artificial intelligence, and related fields. So with over a decade of experience in project management, policy development, and event management, she has led initiatives that have enhanced UNESCO Nepal's impact. Notably, she has established transboundary and regional projects such as the ongoing transboundary GLOF Glacial Lake Outburst Flood reporting project between Nepal and India. Additionally, Ms. Sharma has contributed to the discussions on Nepal's various media-related bills and regulation of digital platforms. Welcome, Ms. Nirjana Sharma. And I would like to go to Ms. Sonia Abale, our next panelist. Sonia Abale is editor at the Nepali Times newspaper in Kathmandu, so Nepal, where she has also served as the health, science, and environment correspondent since 2015. She has extensively covered the impact of climate change, geopolitical issues, migration issues, conflict issues, air pollution, disaster preparedness, migration, and public health, looking at their political and economic interlinkages. Ms. Avale is a graduate of public health and has a master's degree in journalism from the University of Hong Kong. Welcome, Ms. Sonia Awale. So I would like to also welcome our chair of this session, Dr. Sudhamshu Dahal. Dr. Sudhamshu Dahal is an associate professor at the Department of Languages and Mass Communication. He is a distinguished academic and professional whose career is defined by an unwavering commitment to harnessing information and communication technology, ICTs, for societal development. Holding a doctoral degree in communication for development with a specialized focus on ICT for development, Dr. Dahal has emerged as a leading voice in this interdisciplinary domain. His academic work is distinguished by a meticulous exploration of how digital media and open data can catalyze transformative change, particularly in developing regions such as South Asia. Now, with this, without further ado, let's begin the insightful conversation among the experts. So, up to you, Dr. Dahal. So, let's begin this session.
Uh, thank you, Alok, for introducing the panel and distinguished panelists, esteemed colleagues, participants, and friends. Good morning and warm greetings to all. It is with immense pleasure and at the same time critical anticipation that I welcome you to this important deliberation on AI and journalism in Nepal. It's been titled as Insights for Course Design. As the chair of today's session, it is my honor to moderate a conversation that is both timely and necessary, one that engages with the rapidly evolving intersection of artificial intelligence, media literacy, and journalism education. Let me first express gratitude to the organizing team at my own home institution, Kathmandu University, School of Arts, Department of Languages and Mass Communication, our coordinating partner, Digital Rights Nepal, and our valued supporter, UNESCO. This collaboration represents an ecosystem of actors committed to shaping a just, informed, and technologically inclusive media future for Nepal. Uh, Let me talk briefly about why I think this webinar matters, because I would have a very little to say while moderating it. I'll have my, like a concluding note at the end of this. We may look at it from the proliferation of AI technologies, popularly known by its generative tools, as commonly known as chat GPTs and others. And but along with that, it also has data driven analytics, algorithmic news selection, and even automated content production that directly relates to the journalism practices. And it has challenged the traditional notion of journalistic work, but has also prompted us to address in a very different setting on the editorial ethics, and for us at the university also to redesign, or maybe creatively redesign, or maybe look into its transformative aspect on the pedagogical frameworks. We now stand at the crossroads. So one obvious question would be: do we retrofit old syllabi to fit new tools, as we've been retrofitting houses following the, like 2015 earthquakes in Nepal? Shall we do that? Because it's almost like a magnanimous change that has happened, brought in by the AI technologies these days. Or do we imagine a new pedagogies grounded in AI literacy, digital ethics, and sociocultural accountability? I think we'll delve around primarily these two questions in today's session. This webinar is not just about discussing AI as a tool, in my opinion. It is about asking critical questions. For example, how prepared are our journalism schools for the AI era? And what ethical frameworks should guide AI adoption in newsrooms and classrooms alike? And how do we ensure inclusivity, particularly in Nepal's diverse and multilingual media landscape? With these three critical questions, I think the aim for the today's discussion should be guided to have its threefold purpose. First one is to assess the current status of AI education in journalism and mass communication. I'll begin with that. And then explore the challenges and opportunities of integrating AI into media curricula, both practically and ethically. Then collect recommendations for curriculum innovation. I think the major purpose for today's engagement is that that should be forward looking and also contextually rooted in Nepal's media realities and also the realities of the universities and also our teaching institutions or our own capacity to deal with it. And by the end of the session, I think we aspire to draft a collective vision, a set of insights and directions that can feed into responsive, responsible, and relevant journalism curriculum. I think the aim is that. Let me just quickly take your attention in reminding us all that as we speak innovation, let us not forget accountability. This is very important. And AI is not neutral, actually. It reflects and often reinforces existing biases that is there in the data and also the power dynamics, how we deal with the data. And the exclusions sometimes not accounted for and also deeply rooted in our own cultural practices of doing journalism per se. The curriculum we imagine today must not only train students to use AI, they would do that anyway, like because there are other learning platforms that they can use. But our role should be to critically integrate it. Like, so how, like asking not only how, but why, from whom, and with what consequences. These type of, I think, aspects should be built into our new pedagogical design. So let our pedagogy not be one of the blind adoption, but one of critical engagement and ethical foresights. With this, I think I can directly go to the panel questions because Alok has very nicely introduced all the panelists. And but at the same time, I would also like to remind all of us here, apart from those who are in the panel, the participants, that this is not a one-way exchange. Like, and in latter part of the session, I will be opening the floor for your reflections, questions, and inputs from all the participants. And some of the participants, your own lived experiences and aspirations are very crucial to this collective effort. Uh, without further ado, I would also like to start my panel with the very first place where it matters most, I think, with the media industry. And I would like to start with Miss Sonia Awale. Miss Awale, I think one aspect of we'd all like to hear about the AI currently being used in newsroom practices in Nepal. Can you share any concrete examples of AI tools used in news production, data journalism, audience analytics, or fact checking at your end?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all. I did mention that I'm not an expertise when it comes to artificial intelligence in any way, but the application side of things, or how in the newsrooms or in Nepal using it, or a little bit of how much
Miss
articles.
Awale, can I interrupt? Because I think to save your bandwidth and hear you clearly, I think you can you can put turn off your video. I think that way we can listen to you more clearly.
Yeah, yeah, I've turned off my
Yeah,
video.
yeah, this is
Yeah,
fantastic.
I
Please go
think
ahead.
just yeah, starting off, I think newsrooms have been using AI for years. I'm not talking about just Nepal, but around the world for quite some time. For especially to write sports news and stock market news. But what had changed, I think, is that it's much more nuanced now, especially with large language models and a lot of multimedia options we have today. Um, but that being the background, I think currently the way like Nepali Times and a lot of other newsrooms are using, I think one is summarizing your long articles. Because I do myself report a lot on science, health, and climate, and these are often very technical subject matter. You have to go through a lot of scientific journals, and they do take a lot of time. So to simplify a lot of these journal articles, it also saves a lot of time. So that's one way it is, I'm sure, is being used. Another is social media dissemination. I think it might be to write kind of blurbs you're going on your social media with. I think that's one starting point. I think a lot of us do save time using that. Another is, I think, a lot of in journalism, you have a lot of press releases that you get, and you need to again summarize it, and then you tend to use various AI tools, especially to summarize and similarly to translate from English to Nepali, Nepal to English, or any other language. But I think a caution here is you translate it, but then you have to properly edit it yourself. I think you cannot rely on AI to that cannot be your final copy. Then I think designing infographics. We've experimented with designing infographics. Again, you have to have your final decision. You have to make changes and everything, but it does give a lot of ideas regarding not just infographics itself, but what kind of infographic for what set of data.
Thank you very much, Ms. Awale. And I think, as you have very elaborately explained how things fare within the journalism, the media industry, I'll come back to you later. Now, let me again stick to the industry and also the the global body which takes it as a mandate to facilitate the media communication in the world to the UNESCO. And I welcome Ms. Nijana Sharma. She is heading the communication section. And so my question to you would be, how does UNESCO approach the intersection of AI, journalism, and education globally? And how do those frameworks translate to Nepal context? I think of late, UNESCO Kathmandu has been doing a lot of work related to this area. Ms. Sharma.
Thank you very much, Sudhamsu sir. Namaste, everyone. When we are talking about the development or deployment of artificial intelligence in journalism and education, because of its widerness and the central focus on the human rights and doing no harm, and also accountability and transparency of the uses of AI. So there has been a lot of development since 2021 in this regard. Also from UNESCO side, there has been the development of guidelines for reporting artificial intelligence. This is the handbook that's dedicated for the journalism teachers. This is the part of UNESCO's series on journalism education, and there are a lot of different issues highlighted in this handbook for journalism educators. And if I may mention some of them, it starts from uh, the justification that it's important for journalists to understand artificial intelligence. And when we are talking about artificial intelligence in general in day-to-day life, I think it's generally understood in the form of a generative AI, because that's more accessible to all of us. But there are different types of artificial intelligence, and that also needs to be uh, integrated in the journalism curricula for the better understanding of the media students, practitioners, and the journalists themselves. And there are different other things covered within these modules, and those are the cultural myth and narrative about the artificial intelligence, because we hear a lot of time about how artificial intelligence might replace or take away so many jobs. So it might be true and may not be true in many of the contexts. And the degree of let's say the discussion that's going around the loss of job of journalists and media persons with the integration or the uses of artificial intelligence in the overall media sector, that needs to be scrutinized from the journalists perspective as well. And I think these kind of insecurities also needs to be questioned and reported from different perspectives. And there's also the need for the media industry, the journalists, the students, to understand the overall policy framework and recommendations on artificial intelligence. What are the legal instruments in place, and how these legal instruments are rooted to the uh, principle of universal declaration of human rights. So I think these are the basics that also needs to be um, integrated in the journalism curricula and the overall teaching and learning processes.
As the artificial intelligence came to this world as a new technology impacting our very, from the very initial of our own life doings to the very very later, and it's been so pervasive. And very interestingly, we have also set up the department of artificial intelligence within our school of engineering. And now we have with us the person who heads this department, Dr. Yagiras Pandey. And this would be very interesting, Dr. Pandey, for you, because my question to you would be, from a technical education perspective, as you're leading this department, how do you see AI as being accessible and teachable actually to the students other than that of the technology, who may not have a technical background? Although our department of AI has also starting a master's course on application of AI uses. I think it's very contextual to have your take on that.
Dr. Sudhanshu sir already mentioned that we have a artificial intelligence department, and it actually is founded recently, around 9 months before. But before that, the program was under the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and we started those BTech in AI and MTech in AI in 2021, and we have a master graduate this time, and next semester we'll graduate the undergrad program, the BTech AI student. Yeah, actually we are this time we are more focused on the mm, uh, mm, technical perspective of this AI and use in the multidisciplinary field like agriculture, and the cultural development, and the climate change and other things. We are going basically our research focus on those areas, but it's a multidisciplinary. So obviously there is a need to teach those technology to adapt with the other technology like the media and the education, and even in the government um, day-to-day work. Uh, uh, the teaching of AI is somehow difficult in technical perspective to those who are not aware of aware the who are not in from the technology background, but the use should be teach, and the its positive or ethical way should be teach those who are now the users. Basically, already Miss Sonia already discussed on the use of the AI in journalism, and the all the journalists who are using the AI uh, should understand the ethical way, and what are the practices in Nepal, and what the Nepal AI policy or AI strategy is going, and how we should any organization should adopt those things. The teaching is very necessary, and at this time, as a member of National AI Policy, we are developing a strategy to implement those policy, so that the different sector can adopt it in timely and with secure way. For example, we are developing the national digital platform, so that the data, our personal data, should be secure and accessible for the right use of those data. And also we are developing the national Nepali chat GPT, you can say, and so that our different sector who are using the Nepali in our governmental work, even in the school we can use those system in more secure way, and with cultural context as well. So uh, so uh, different sector this time are very much interested on AI, but knowing or unknowingly they are using, or sometimes they are facing various challenges, even loss of property, loss of intellectual property as well. Because we in the Nepal we don't have any regulating bodies. The AI we already adopted, we already use it, but there is no even the strategy, law, and other things. So one thing is the we need to control those things, and another thing we have to promote. For example, we should develop our own system so that the cultural context and our data should be secure within the Nepal.
What expectations should academia fulfill to prepare journalism students for AI infused newsrooms? And if you could be specific on the competencies that are currently missing among the fresh graduates.
I would say, I guess this has been repeatedly addressed by all of us here in the panel. The guideline, the policy, something to, to actually guide this kind of ad hoc, in a way, AI technology, AI tools that we have. And it's great that at the national level, there is an AI policy being drafted, I believe, and Dr. is involved. In fact, I would go on to say that every media institution should also have their own AI policy and guidelines, because right now it's very unclear. And when you do not have policy, there is a lot of chances of being misused, and it is being misused.
How can we embed strong ethical principles as UNESCO has been, kind of promoting these guidelines, and also the digital rights awareness, because one of our partner here is the Digital Rights Nepal, and I think you have very rightly pointed out that approach is the human right based and into the journalism curriculum, and especially when AI can lead to surveillance, misinformation, and bias. Ms. Sharma.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for this question. So, relating to the surveillance, misinformation, disinformation, and bias uh, in journalism, I think AI literacy for journalists can be one point that we need to look into to equip the journalist with the skills to understanding how AI can generate and amplify the misinformation, deepfakes, and AI generated texts. And the other part of this would be the fact checking and verification. I think, again, the AI powered fact checking tools and techniques, the journalists need to be empowered to rightly use these available technologies. There are so many fact checking tools, and they are also now embedded with AI. So, to counter the disinformation and defects created by AI, the artificial intelligence itself can be the tool, the helpful tool. The other one, again, I have already mentioned about it. I think transparency and labeling, like where did this content come from, or to what extent the technology was used to generate the certain content, that would be very much important, and it should be made mandatory to label the use of artificial intelligence in content generation. And about the bias in artificial intelligence, I think it's important for media students to understand how biases in training data can lead to discriminatory outcomes.
This whole idea will bring to us, so for the universities. And now I would again go back to Dr. Pandey and would like to ask you what interdisciplinary strategies can be adopted for co-teaching or collaboration between AI experts and journalism or media educators to meaningfully introduce AI tools and concept. I think you can discuss this within these new course that you are planning on the master in AI application. Dr. Pandey.
Thank you, sir, for your question. Uh, yeah, actually, yeah, this time we are also planning, as you told, a new course on AI related to multidisciplinary domain. We can allow the AI because this time we are only allow the science and technology student for the master program, and maybe it's not enough because all should know about the AI and should aware about this new technology for the sectoral development in each sectors. We need to think to redesign the syllabus or some course structures to make them more familiar with only the not only the bridging, but also some futuristic approach or futuristic requirement or futuristic opportunities on AI in this in their particular domain. And another things is the problem is the evaluation. How we should evaluate them, and the most of discuss here is mostly related to the Gen AI, right? So the content generated from the AI and how much content we should allow in the university research or publication and other things. This is another challenge, and we should make proper guidelines. How much, like 10% or 15%, how much the AI generated content should allow in the academic research or or the other domain of academic evaluations.
Incorporating the AI in journalism itself, journalism education itself is another challenge because what we can see is the basic workings of AI, like the concepts of machine learning, natural language processing. These are all very much related to the computer science. So it itself is a challenge. So how are we planning to incorporate those AI related syllabus curriculums required for the journalism is quite difficult.
All these conversations can be take up with curiosity, courage, and care. I think three C's. I would like to see that happen. And then the one aspect would be to avoid the techno solutionism in the journalism education. You cannot see the technology will be the solution. You like to so techno solutionism or priming the technology as a solution would be, so we should be cautious on that. The second one would be we should not be in haste, like it adapting this AI into the education, this also brings into the concern raised by Kumar. And also there is a risk of the journalist de-skilling or over reliance on AI. So this is what Sonia ji mentioned about, you have to bring in your skill up front, then only then only it will be meaningful. You cannot just use it bluntly, rely on the AI. I think with these three kind of questions or contemplation in our mind, may we leave this forum not just with answers, but with better questions and a shared commitment to shaping an AI literate and ethically resilient generations of journalists in Nepal, I think. So with this, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you very much, Sonia ji, Nirjana ji, and Dr. Pandey for sharing your ideas, thoughts on a very important topic about how do we integrate AI into the journalism courses in Nepal. And with this, I think I'm also given in charge to conclude this webinar. Thank you very much. I hope we would keep on interacting in physical as well as online spaces like this in times to come. Thank you very much.